Hi, I'm Mike Okimoto from Labcompare, and I'm here talking with Mark Clymer from Olympus. And Mark is going to be telling us about the FSX100 fluorescence microscope. Hi Mark, thanks for talking with us.
Hi Mike.
So again, my first impression of the FSX100 is, you know what, this does not look like any microscope that I've ever seen before. Where are the eyepieces?
No, that's exactly right, Mike. This is something new. It's a brand new concept from Olympus. This is an all-in-one fluorescence microscope. It's self-contained. It creates its own darkroom. Everything is driven through software, so the user doesn't have to look into any eyepieces.
Okay, so that's an interesting point. It creates its own darkroom. That means that you can basically put this instrument in your lab. You don't necessarily need to create your own, wall off a part of a room and then make sure that it's dark to do traditional fluorescence microscopy.
That's exactly the point. Put it on the bench, keep the lights on, everybody else can continue their work, and the scientists can proceed with their imaging.
So while the outside doesn't necessarily look like a traditional microscope, the inside, I assume, is...
Yeah, let me open the front for you. What we have is it's an inverted microscope configuration as opposed to an upright configuration. I have in here right now a 1x3 slide holder, specimen holder. It has this XY stage, so the stage moves in the XY position, but we can accommodate other types of sample vessels in here as well.
Right, okay. So this is the device that lets you capture the images, but when you're actually working with the specimens, you do this all on a computer.
Right, that's what's also nice is the microscope is in here. Your interaction with the microscope is minimal. It's mounting your specimen, closing the door, and you move everything over then to the computer. Everything is driven through the software.
So can you walk us through the software a little bit?
Well, Mike, with the software for the FSX100, it follows this intuitive workflow that anyone's going to be using when they're capturing images. We have 3 different observation modes. The one that's highlighted right now is fluorescence. Then we have phase contrast in case of perhaps a cell culture that you would like to take a look at. There's no stains involved, but we have the contrast method to do that imaging. We also have brightfield for people who may be doing tissue sections and have H&E stains. We have that capability as well. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to just take you through the fluorescence. In each of fluorescence, phase contrast, and brightfield, you can do a single image. You can do time lapse, which will be multiple images over time at the same point on the specimen.
Okay.
You can do a Z-stack, which the image shows is a series of images in different planes on the specimen, and then we're able to put all of those together into one image. And then we have a stitching function, which allows you to take multiple high-resolution images of adjacent fields, and then the software stitches them together to create a higher resolution, a larger section of your specimen. You just click the Start button, and the menu does lead you right on through the software. At the top here, you see an image of the slide. You can grab the crosshairs, you can move to the section on that slide where your specimen may be. Below that is a relatively low resolution phase contrast image, but it gives you an idea of finding where your specimen may be that you'd like to image.
Okay.
You click the next button, it takes you to the next step. So you can see here the image comes up. What we're doing in this window is we're beginning to compose what our image is going to look like. So, like looking through the viewfinder of a camera, you want to begin composing what you want to include in that viewfinder. So we can pick the cell, we can frame it, we can change the magnification, higher, lower, move that around. We can even click out in here and it moves the slide around to bring other cells into the field of view.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to point out here as well is we've got different colors. So we know that these cells have different stains. So you may choose a different stain to find the cells that you'd like to image. You click Next, it takes you now into the acquisition stage. This is where we kind of tweak the image. We do the final adjustments before snapping the picture. I'm focusing just using the scroll wheel.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
On the mouse. I could look at a different channel. So we're going to look at the red next.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm going to look at the blue. Next step is just to click snap. And it captures each color separately and then it creates the overlay image.
Okay.
We click View, we'll see the final image. We also have some edit functions if you'd like to add scale bars, any kind of graphics or text. You can also do some measurements. You're able to do that here in this system. And some people like to see each of the channels separately.
Look at that, yeah. So you were able to go in and adjust the level of each one of those colors separately,
Right.
take the final image, the software bundles them essentially,
Right.
and gives you this final image. And again, it was simple to do.
It's very easy to do. And what's very nice about this system is you don't have to be a microscopist, because we feel that this is so simple, set, shoot, see, that anyone can use it. Anyone who needs to take an image using a microscope can use this. So it doesn't have to be the microscopist, the cell biologist, it could be a molecular biologist.
So spend time on the experiments and less learning about microscopy.
That's exactly right.
Interesting. It all comes in a fairly small footprint. Well, Mark, thank you so much for your time.
Mike?
For more information on the FSX100 from Olympus, please click on the links below.